Okay, now we'll talk about arrays. So we've seen arrays before. They are a list. So if I say names here, I go back to Al, Bob, and Jeff. Okay, so just like strings, they have a length. So if I say names.length, I should get 3 back. You can say names.first. That'll give me the first item of the list, so kind of the ordinal first, as opposed to the 0th item, which is when we index it, same thing. We can also add things to this list, so we could say push another name on. We could say push Paul's name on. So now names will have four items in it. Nice. We go ahead and pop that back off. Pop is the method that gets the last item off the list, returns it, but now names as length 3 again. Another nice thing another nice method that's built onto array is sample. Sample will randomly give you one of the items. This can be really nice for randomizing and testing stuff. So just a sample. And you can actually say, give me as many as you want. So you say 2. So give me a different combination of 2 every single time. This is a great way to play around with some code. Another thing you could do is you could say, I push another name on here. Okay, so now I've got Jeff in the list twice. There's the unique method, UNIQ. That'll give me just the unique names. So that doesn't modify the original array. It returns a new copy of the array. But there we've got just the unique names. At this point, I want to introduce some slightly more complicated methods on array. And to do that, I'm going to switch to the Atom console. All right. So suppose I have an array. Instead of the items in here being just simple strings, let's have those be hashes. So let's say each of these have a name and an age. Actually, for these numbers. All right, so 10, 12, and 16. And then we'll say Jeff, Whitney, I'm going to spell that, let's say Lisa, and Tiff. All right, so here we have like some people here, so we'll call this people. All right, so this is a list of people. So let's lift as people, and we hit I, and then sure enough, we get all of those people right back. So that's our people. Now, one thing that you may want to do is you may want to find people who are 12 years old. And in order to do that, you can call a method on people. What's this? We're going to say find, and then find takes a special block of Ruby code that will let you know how you want to find them. So what this is supposed to do is find is going to run over each person one by one. So over Jeff, over Lisa, and over Tiff. And it's going to give you the chance to say yes or no, this is the person that I want. So in order to write that special block of code, you use curly braces, and then you use 2 bars. So this is this character is just between backspace and return, or delete and return on your keyboard. It's the vertical bar character. And so here I'm going to say person. This name is totally up to me. I can make it whatever I want, but I usually try to just kind of keep it, semantic. So here I'm going to say person, age equals 12. So hopefully this will find me the person Lisa. That's my hope. So I say I, and sure enough, I get Lisa back, which is great. And if I wanted the person who was 16, I would change this to 16. So I'm using the method on array is called find, and I'm passing in this special block of code, and that's helping me to find the right person, which is pretty cool. There's a similar method called select, which you could use as to kind of be kind of like a where. So if I want to find people whose names or whose ages were greater than or equal to 12, I could go ahead and use select for that, and now I've got both Lisa and Tiff back. So you see how I'm building. You see how I'm using this block of code here as an argument to a method called select, which is pretty cool. The last one I want to do is I'm going to introduce a map. Map is really cool because it doesn't just return the exact same elements. It actually returns a new set of elements if you want. So if what I wanted to do was for each person, I wanted to do a little bit of string formatting. So suppose I wanted the strings to say person named, and then here I put their name. Name is age years old. If this is kind of the string that I wanted to build for each person, then I could put it into here. And now I'll use string interpolation in place of these little placeholders. So here I'll say person name. And then for age, I will do the same thing. I'll just replace this with a little string interpolation. And I'll get person of age. So you see how I did that? So this is going to be people map. And I'll run capital I, and you see this again. So it's person name, Jeff is 10 years old, Lisa is 12, Tiff is 16. And then it introduces 3 really cool methods on array: find, select, and map. One thing I want to point out at this time is that there's some really great documentation on all this stuff on online. So if you just look for string Ruby, then you'll pull up this really great documentation. It almost always has the gray bar at the top, and then left-hand side are all the different methods. And you should go ahead and read through them all, honestly. We talked about a couple of methods. You could just read through them and experiment with all of them either at the console, in the Rails console, or in Atom here. And the same thing for array. So all of those neat methods, find and select and so forth, they're all either on string, array, or this special module called enumerable. You can also look for Ruby enumerable, and in here are all of these really cool methods. So here's find, and then here is select. It would be in here too. Select, yeah, exactly. So these are great methods, and they're all in the enumerable module. We'll talk about exactly what enumerable is later, but suffice to say, string and array are both enumerable, and that means that they have all of the kind of capabilities that are in this module. So I definitely go ahead and check those out.